This is another unboxing video dating all the way back to November of 2019. This flawless, heavy-duty box comes to me from Free League. This is the type of packaging you got if you went in on the pre-order that they put up prior to the release of Alien. So, spoiler alert, far too late. This is the unboxing for Alien and all the things that came along with the limited edition pre-order. So you, of course, get the limited edition book. You got sets of base dice, sets of stress dice, GM kit, and cards. Plus, airbags. Because when you travel, who doesn't appreciate an airbag? Anyway, here we see a pretty stellar packing arrangement. Solid and unbroken air pillows. The dice and cards flat on top, then another layer of bubble wrap. Very cool. We'll look at the backs of each of these because I find them to be remarkably descriptive and yet somehow at the same time strangely optimistic and a little on the funny side. First of all, we must remember that dice are not to be used, or these dice are not to be used by anyone younger than 3, which is an improvement over some dice products we've seen in the past, which are banned below the age of 13, bizarrely. So you'll notice it says these are custom dice designed for the Alien RPG, but you can still use them as normal D6s. I don't know why I find that funny, but I do. So this is one of the 2 base dice sets that you got with the pre-order, and this is one of the 2 of the stress dice sets. Okay, so they are engraved, great quality, very distinct. You can read them from quite a distance, and if you're gaming in a low light environment to enhance the mood, then they would still be quite legible. They're a very high contrast dice. Okay, the card deck, these are standard size cards. But if we can zoom in here and get into focus, we have 22 weapon cards, 20 character cards, some vehicle cards, 3 vehicle cards, and 10 initiative cards. All right, illustrated on one side and information on the other. All right, so let's move all of this stuff out of the way and move down into the printed matter for this pre-order. I have to say that I haven't received very many boxes in the last 2 years that have come in this condition. But even if it had been treated with the same disrespect and, bordering on hatred that a lot of my mail gets, the packing efforts of having each set of items protected by materials such as heavy-duty bubble wrap may have protected them anyway. It's really satisfying. This was not a cheap order. It was a real kind of leap of faith on my part, as I hadn't really looked very deeply at the Year Zero games at all. And this is branching into a new company. I hadn't, at this point, hadn't read any or had any of Free League's other offerings. But after this experience, I gathered them up as they are doing good work. High quality text, high quality printing. Anyway, bubble wrap. Let's take a look at that mysterious sigil we could barely make out through the bubble wrap. And we see not only is it bubble wrapped, everything has fallen over. Well, let's stop, create tension, and rearrange it all for no reason. All right. It's in shrink wrap, is what I was trying to say. Not only is it in bubble wrap, but it's also in shrink wrap. So there we go. This is the limited edition set. You can see me looking at you, looking at me. It's just seemingly impossible to get all the details of the book to show on video under any kind of light. But there's this, for a second there you could see it, right? There's this bone motif running all the way down but actually once we get the plastic off, hopefully we get a better look at it. So it's matte black with some glossy black between the bone items on the front and back covers, as you can see. Haha, success. And we have the face hugger icon in the front, we have the other icon on the back, and this is not exactly a silver but a light gray color. So it's, we don't have to worry about art and art direction from Free League, I think.
There's a layer of mist just covering the eggs that reacts when broken.
So unlike usual, let's not wait. Let's get the shrink wrap off right away and see if we can get at least one half-decent shot of this book on video under bright lighting conditions. I know for the learning series that we've been doing, we haven't really had a very good look at the book. So maybe this will be that opportunity. But no spoilers. Of course, it's taking an extraordinarily long time to get the shrink wrap off. Why is it taking so long? Is this a deliberate attempt to increase the agitation in the viewing audience? Or is it worry and concern about a sudden jiggle marring the surface of the book, which managed to travel all of this distance against the odds to come to me unscathed? Well, I can tell you it was the latter. All right, so this is pretty good. We're in nice and close. We can see the matte finish. It doesn't exactly attract or resist fingerprints. It's middle of the road. You can see that this is an applique on the front and back of the book. All right, so we're zoomed in extremely closely. That's normal production error. So what I keep calling the bone motif on the front, as you can see here, who knows what it really is. If you actually know what that is, other than what I'm saying it is, let me know in a comment. But applied to the front for a pretty dramatic effect. So when you're looking at it from a distance, you don't have the sense that it's stuck on there. It's only when you get in really close. So pretty dramatic. And it makes a stronger impression on me than the standard cover. I like the standard cover, and sometimes in collector's editions or limited editions you can get both, and I really rather wish that had been an option, because I would have gone for it this time. But anyway, so what does it look like inside for real when you're looking at it not mostly in the dark? There is a ton of art, both explicit art like for weapons or gear or scenes evocative of the films, but just starfield backgrounds or computer readouts or data windows, character profiles. Just everywhere you look there is something to put you in mind of the movies or the environment of the films. End papers have our star charts, and when we're holding the book there is this tactile sense of just an unnatural feeling, a ribbed feeling. So I guess in a sense we could say that the book is ribbed for your pleasure, but when we're considering the Alien franchise, that might be going too far. So let's take a look at the Game Masters pack and the scenario that comes along with it. This is a pretty popular scenario since release. I've seen a lot of different channels out there have tried to run Chariot of the Gods. That's what came with this particular pack, and most people seem to enjoy it. Anyone who follows this channel knows I'm not that big on printed adventures. I would have preferred to get something else in this pack, but there you go. Maybe I'll run it one day just as a proof of concept or personal experience for cinematic play. So we've shown the screen already in one of the learning videos. We'll take a closer look at that a little later. All right, so this is the Maps and Resources pack. Everything is dark, glossy. They don't miss a trick in maintaining the fact that it's cold, you're far away from everything, it's in deep space, and no one can hear you scream. Everything is reinforced there. So I'm not showing this one directly because fear of spoilers and all that, but I want you to be able to have a sense of how the art direction is consistent from core book through supplements. So very strong positive impression from all of this so far. Now, the screen. I'm a huge fan, not really of screens because I don't end up using them, but if I have one, I want them to be like this, like the Hollow Earth Expedition screen, or the Space 1889 screen, or now this screen. The Delta Green screen also. Managing to be effective, durable, really able to stand up physically and to stand up to some abuse. If you're going to have a screen, if you're going to use a screen, if you're going to carry a screen around with you, it should be a screen like this screen. Okay, now that we've praised the screen without looking at it, let's look at it. Okay. I like the amount of blankness. I find that a lot of screens can go too far. Some of the Call of Cthulhu screens have been absolutely fantastic in that they're just some sort of location. And like this, we have the suggestion of the alien for sure. So anyone across a convention hall or anyone sitting and playing in a darkened room can let that prey on them subconsciously. But most of the screen is simply dark and suggestive, like flecks of acid spray, or are they stars, and is there the intimation of a doorway or some kind of structure? Is there a reflection of somebody filming? Who knows? So it's right on the money. And then all of the most useful charts are right here in front of you. And again, not just a white interior, because it's just for the game master. They just need to be able to read it. We still end up with a high contrast environment that is still evocative of the computer assets of the early Alien films. So, right front and center, we have injury, which I think is an interesting thing to have your game master, or your game mother in this case, thinking about. One thing I would also like to point out about the screen is this hinge. Right? So rather than it just be a simple 3-panel screen, real care has been made so it can stay in good condition, open and close for a long period of time, and fit on the shelf like a book. So, not bad. All right, so to sum up, Free League set themselves up to impress with this pre-order. It delivered early, it was incredibly well organized, it was interestingly advertised, and to even have backers like myself in the international mailing zone receive the products early and have them come this well packed and with this kind of impact, well, to my eyes at least, it seems like the beginning of a beautiful relationship, but one that actually has substance.